why it's doing that. It's it being what it is.
In an age where being a timid, whiny, weak little fruitcake is the norm. We're not just a little different. We're a lot different. You're listening to the Voice of the People USA Radio Network. We're live 24/7 on www.vopusaradio.com. New live shows can be found every day and night of the week. We are the new mainstream media. This is where censorship comes to die, and all voices and opinions are welcome here. Thursday nights, it's Voice of the People USA Radio. The VOP Roundtable, live every Tuesday night. Rise Above the Noise, a conversation with Carrie and Dan, airing live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. The VOP Roast, airing live every Friday night. Tales from the Woodshed and The Calm Before the Storm. And also on Sunday nights, We Drink and We Know Things with Carrie and Kevin. Engage and rage. The Voice of the People USA Radio Network, where free speech thrives and political correctness dies.
I think the people on the radio side got a much more entertaining intro.
Probably.
Yeah, I'd say it's safe to say that, you know. But in one plus, though, it's not sharing to less Facebook groups than it was the week prior with no rhyme or reason. So at least there's that.
That's good.
Sure. No, we don't know why, but that's what Craps does.
Okie dokie.
Craps loves us. Anyway, hi, Carrie.
Hi, Dan.
Hi.
We are the professional team that are bringing you this amazing show.
That's right. Nothing but the best. You
God.
missed it. Don't worry. We're back to fuck it all up again.
Yep.
So, yes. You know, I did some rando shows last week though while I was in Florida. So, you know, I ended up doing a show with Elias at like God, what was it? It was like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning.
I saw that when I was changing I think the title or something like that, and it was like, why the hell not, or something like that. I'm like, what the hell were you guys doing?
Yeah, we were gonna do a short show in the middle of the night. It ended up being 3 hours. It was actually really entertaining, but yeah, it was just a rando thing, you know. What the hell? So, you know, that went off without any issues. Other people's shows have been going off without any issues, and it just seems like whenever we do stuff, so you just don't like me, you know.
I'm beginning to believe you on that. I really am, because like if I can fucking put stuff through without too many issues, I can't use this HAP shit. But I mean, if I can do it, like, you know, and I haven't made too many mistakes lately, then, you know, it's got to be the gods of technology against you. That's all.
They're all out to get me.
Yeah.
Don't you understand? Do you believe it now? It's not a conspiracy theory anymore. They're all out to get me. So, whatever. So,
oh boy.
So what's going on with you, Carrie? How's life been treating you?
Oh, it's been awesome. This is my first full week off of school. So 3 official days off. And I'm still like, you know, emailing with my principal and talking things over. And so, but it's okay. Kids are still texting me. Do you know I actually had a senior who graduated on Friday? The graduation was at like, I think 1 o'clock, sending me work at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, I finally had to like email the guidance counselor. I'm like, did she graduate? And she's like, yes. I'm like, why the fuck is she still sending me work that was due months ago? What is happening here? I'm like, oh my God. Then I got a bunch of juniors sending me stuff. I'm like, grades were due at like 3 p.m., right? It's like 7. Like, what are you doing? But other than that silliness, life has been very good this week for 3 days so far.
You're doing all right.
I can't complain.
Well,
How about your day?
congratulations. Damn, my days are whatever. It was good to know that I leave Florida, then come back up north, and it's hotter than it is in Florida. That was cool. I could say
God.
I could say about Florida, I seen some bugs that I've never seen before in my life. Godzilla should be fighting them.
Yeah. Water
th-
bugs.
I don't know. It was a kaiju. I'm telling you. I was waiting. I was waiting to hear the music. The dun 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 dun. I was waiting for him to come and save me, but he didn't. So I literally wouldn't go in my one hotel room, my hotel door. I would not go in because this thing was on the door, and it was damn near bigger than my head. The size of my head is rather large, and I'm like, nope, fuck out of here. So I walked all the way around and went up the other way because no.
Did you see a bunch of the little lizards, the little geckos, or whatever the heck they are?
I saw
They're
a few
all
of
over
them.
the place. Oh, they were all over the place last time I was there. It was just like insane.
Yeah, they were around. They were pretty cool. And frogs. There's nothing there. And then the people at the site, they're all like, "Oh, this is our alligator friend that comes over and visits every time the little thing rises, the water rises there." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Dogs of the swamp. Okay. It was an interesting experience. I was down in the extreme southeast of Florida,
Right.
So it was strange. And the Florida weather, I should have been used to it from years ago when I had to unfortunately be down there and deal with the Miami, whatever the hell they are, baseball team games and Dolphin shit. But I think I had pushed that memory out of my mind because I wanted to forget about it and thrown right back into it. It was strange. It was strange. Interesting state. Friendly people. Driving down there is a piss. You ever have one of those deals where you're in a rental car, right? And they gave me my whatever I told you it was, the pickup truck. Yeehaw!
Yeah. Toyota Tacoma or something like that, I think. Yeah.
Something Asian hillbilly truck, I guess. I hope that's not racist. And
an Asian hillbilly truck.
Asian hillbilly truck. And it was cool.
Wait, is it an Asian truck for American hillbillies, or are they Asian hillbillies?
Asian hillbillies. Asian hillbillies.
Just checking.
It's more appropriate. And I'm driving down there on 95, whatever. And I'm like,
oh, fuck 95.
I know. And I'm like, well, let me be careful and everything else. And I realized, look at these assholes drive. Like, it's New York drivers. So then I just, clicked into the mode and I was fine.
Yep.
Drive like an asshole and you're perfect.
Yep.
So it's cool.
Cut everybody off, squeeze in.
Yeah. They go all out there. But it's pretty cool how they get the monsoonal rains and then the sun comes back out and then monsoonal rains and then the sun comes back out and it just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And
more humid.
Ugh, not fun. No.
And then you come home to this.
I know.
You didn't leave Florida.
It really sucks. I'm not a fan. That's all I'm going to say. But hey, shout out to them for not losing my luggage this time. Of course, they put a hole in it and busted up my luggage more. That's what you get when you're a preferred premier on United and you go first class. Nothing like going first class on the way home, paying extra out of pocket to fly first class. And what do I have? 2 screaming children from the time we were on the runway.
Oh no!
All the way to the time we landed in Newark.
Oh no!
Oh my God! And the lady sitting next to me in the other recliner, she was pretty much sloshed, and she looks at me and she goes, "Now you know why I drink, and we pay extra for this little shit."
Like, wow, good for her.
There you go. United. Nothing better than United.
You should fly JetBlue to Florida. They usually do pretty good.
With the last minute shit, it was the only thing I could find.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I would have been flying out of one of these little rinky-dink airports and had to take fucking 19 connecting flights and everything else.
JetBlue flies direct to Florida from Avoca.
Yeah, so they say.
Never mind.
Yeah, don't trust them. They suck. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe it's if you have more than a day or two to plan, that could be a big difference too. But when it's I got to book in 2 days. Yeah, it's $819. A 6-hour layover in Charlotte. No, go fuck yourself. No. So
yeah, no.
Then there's Newark. So And Newark
gotta love
is
Newark.
ugh.
Well, at least you didn't have to drive through the city to get to like LaGuardia or something. Like I like to fly out of LaGuardia from the apartment because you can just take a cab and it's like a flat fee and like it's just easier for me. But like JFK is a pain in the fucking ass.
Oh, JFK sucks.
Oh God, it's terrible. But I mean, LaGuardia is under all that like new construction and shit like that. That's been like going on for 100 years, and so. Ugh.
I could say that my one job I did spend probably about what the fuck was it? I don't know, 3-4 months at LaGuardia. I was part of the construction security side anyway. So Terminal C building. So I got to be there for a lot of that, and I got used to LaGuardia. I did, but so I had to kind of weigh it out. What's better, going to Newark or having to actually try to cross over? And I guess it was the better of the two. I guess.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you. Like that was, I mean, I think Newark is better. Like, so when you got there, like you had to park your car, how much did it cost to park your car there?
Oh, only $178 for 3 days.
Oh,
yeah. Now that's where Scranton wins. Actually, Pittsburgh is only $15 a day, but Scranton Wilkes-Barre is like what, 10, 5, 10.
Dan, the next time you have to go to the airport, let me know. I don't mind taking it. If it's Newark, I don't care. I mean, LaGuardia's a pain in the ass, but like like I'll take you to Newark and drop you off and pick you up. Especially now, I don't have anything to do. Please.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I would have looked at one of the sublots and everything else. I'm like, nah. I just kind of wanted to get in there, and yeah, needless to say, it was a good experience. When your parking costs almost as much as your round trip flight, it's very exciting.
Yeah, right. So, oh my god.
Yeah, but that's that's MTA for you. I mean, we talk about bridge tolls, but whatever. What is it now to cross the GWB? It's been like 6 months. So is it up to 20 yet?
I don't know what it's up to now. The last time I went across it was like 15 or some shit like that. Or I guess that was prime time or something like that. I don't even know. They changed those. The worst is the Verrazano. Holy Christ.
Oh yeah. And Frog's Neck.
Have yourself raped and give birth and give the kid up like right there. Go across the Verrazano.
Right.
Shit.
No, the Verrazano sucks, and Throg's Neck, I think it was like 17 or 18. Like, damn, for this, it's very insane. Special.
And it's just and it just keeps going. But this will be a perfect segue into one of the things that I was going to bring up to you. So, New York City is a shithole falling apart even more. It's back to like the way it was in like the 70s and 80s at this point. Mm-hmm. And they just did their budget, and it's like this massive budget because the federal government dumped like a boatload of money on them. And so they're spending money on most ridiculous things. Like they're spending money. And so with crime being up, instead of like I read where it said they're hiring 10,000 or maybe it was 1,000. I could be lying. 10,000? It's probably 10,000 because it's a huge city. I think it was that they're hiring 10,000 at risk for getting involved in gang people to clean up the city. I'm like, so you're going to coax them out of like, bad situations and pay them $15 an hour to pick up garbage? Do you think they're going to want to do that versus whatever they were making money doing? Anyhow, so that's what they're going to spend money doing. I'm like, holy shit. So the New York, so don't bother to put money into fixing the fucking bridges and the tolls and like maybe taking the onus off of the commuters and stuff like that, because you want the commuters back. You want people back in person in the offices. So how about you fucking like do something about that? Mm-hmm. It's out of control. Oh, but did you see they have their primaries for the mayor, and oh my god! So,
whoops! Did we admit that out publicly? Whoops!
Oops! We forgot to pull the 140 or 50,000 test ballots. Oh my god! First off, this ranked choice thing. I mean, Kevin, was saying why he thinks it's actually not a bad idea, and I guess I get it. Like, if you have a couple people and you're like, well, if this guy doesn't win, I wouldn't mind this one winning. So you can kind of do that, but like, it takes like days and days and maybe weeks to figure out who the fuck won, and it's just a primary. Like, all right, so right now it still is Eric Adams, which I know very little about him except he's an ex-police captain. Brooklyn Borough president, and is apparently shaking shit up because all of the left-wing liberal Democrats are all, all this cultural race theory and Black Lives Matter and screaming to take down this, that, and all this stuff. And apparently and I was reading this article in the Times. They did a breakdown of the demographics of like the Republicans and the Democrats, and like all like the variations. Like you have like the far left wing and the far right wing, and then you have like a step, below that and below until you get to like the moderates, right? And apparently there are the demographic that they're trying to like, and I know you said this, I could hear you in my brain. You're stuck in my head, Dan, damn it. I could hear you saying like basically saying, yep. Because they've discovered now that the Black demographic, and might even be minorities in general. I think they specifically said Black though, in the Democratic Party, the ones that are making like decent salaries and are more or less college educated are not left wing liberals, and then the ones that are not making the greatest money and may not have a college education are even farther down from that, like because they're very religious and all, so they're not like all for all of the stuff that the Democrats are doing. So they're closer to the middle. And same thing with the Republican, like if you're Black and Republican, the same thing, like they're not at the far ends of the spectrum, but yet like, so now like, with, the city, like, it's all, and everyone says, oh, the city's, it's all these left-wing, liberals. And it's like, no, because apparently he's like leading every borough except for Manhattan as far as the Democratic runoff goes, because people are fed up with the crime. He's an ex, NYPD police captain here. Like, so, and he's like, we are taking our city back. We're not standing for this. We need more police on the, in the city and all. And it's like, holy shit, a man speaking some common sense and people are voting for him. Shocking. Mm-hmm. Shocking.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. And then they got on the other side there, you got Curtis.
Yep. And I forget the other guy's name.
Isn't it? The other one's gone now, right? Oh, you're talking about like
no, there was Curtis Lewa and then one other guy that was in the runoff. There was only two running for the Republican ticket for mayor.
Yeah, Curtis beat him. I know that.
Oh, okay.
Curtis is now the candidate. I don't know if there was a third independent one or not. I didn't pay enough attention.
No, I didn't either, but
it's gonna be entertaining to see what happens. Not that I suspect anything really earth-shattering is going to come of it, but we'll see. I mean, just like with the governor race, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on there. I mean, I don't trust polling, so polling means nothing to me. But I think Lee Zeldin versus what's his face, the freaking kid who I can't believe it. I remember seeing him going to Yankee games, but freaking Andrew Giuliani. I think Giuliani is actually way outperforming the very popular congressman from New York. So I'm surprised by that. I thought that he would not appeal, but whatever. I don't know enough about. I just have no faith in anything in New York politically anyway. So
yeah, I don't either.
Could they reelect Cuomo again, or is he actually done? I don't know, because they'd probably reelect him again if they could.
Oh, I don't know. Are there term limits for a governor? I mean, like Bloomberg came in. Bloomberg came in and changed it for mayor. He ran for 3 fucking terms. He was there for like 12 years. Like, so what's King Cuomo won't do the same.
Wouldn't surprise me. So I think he's done after this. I think, not 100% certain though. I don't. Who knows? I can't even keep track of Pennsylvania, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is our favorite superhero still in the running? Is he doing more barbecues and taking more pictures, telling about how great he's going to be? I don't know. Barletta, he's still.
I haven't heard anything about him.
No,
I haven't heard anything about any of the politics in Pennsylvania. The only thing I heard about Pennsylvania was today that Bill Cosby just got released from prison. Like
R. Kelly is trying to hire Cosby's lawyers quick.
Right. Like it's so interesting because it's like, so he was supposed to serve a 3 to 12, I think, year sentence. And he's served a 3, but then the Pennsylvania Supreme Court like overturned, not the Supreme Court, but like a judge or whatever, one of them basically threw his conviction out because
Fifth Amendment.
I guess but it was first off, I guess what I heard the reasoning was that like the prosecutor the woman that was the court case was centered on was the one that was the athletic director or something like that for Temple, and she's the one that said that he had drugged her and everything else. And but I think she waited until like I don't know, like something like 30 days before the statute of limitations went out, and it's only 12 years in Pennsylvania for a sex crime, and so that was the whole trial. But the thing is that the prosecutor, he made some deal with the defense attorney that he wouldn't bring one thing up, but he brought in like all these, like, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, there's like over 60 women accusing Cosby of whatever. But he said that I guess there were some women that were actually brought to the trial to like, serve as, I guess, like, kind of like character assassinations, I guess. And the judge said that was the problem, that they should not have done that this was basically putting in the mind of the jurors that he's a bad man because this is repetitive behavior. Whether it is or not, I mean, it seems odd that there were 60 plus women who accused him of something like this. So there must be some truth somewhere. But the bottom line is that had no bearing and should not have been brought, up. It was for this one particular case. And I was like, wow. So the whole thing got thrown out. I'm like, whoa. So he's already tweeting and like, thanking everybody. And so it's interesting. Like, it's weird because it's like, and I've said this before, and as a woman, I think I'm okay to say this, and I'm going to, if there's any like super feminist women that probably hate me, but I don't really care. What do I always say? I'm the least feminist female I know. But I mean, the whole Me Too movement, because this is what really, like, this was the first conviction at the beginning of the Me Too movement. Like, this is the first case that was like, now we're justified. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that, this woman, I'm just speak to the one that, the Temple employee, that she lied or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. But these other women, and this is for any situation. So I get that you're probably nervous, maybe if you're like, if you think your job depends on it, like you don't want to say anything, like say your boss is like, I don't know, grabbing your ass or something like that. So I get like, okay, you're worried about your job, but in Pennsylvania, at least, and Massachusetts, it's 15 years. In Pennsylvania, the statute of limitations is 12 years. If you can't get yourself in a new job or a new situation within those 12 years, then, there's something wrong with you and you should have been getting out of there to begin with. I don't know. It's hard for me, and this sounds terrible, and I recognize it as a woman, that it's almost like I'm not believing the women, and that's not what I mean. But like, why are you waiting so long to say something? And then as a man, like, how do you even navigate like the workplace nowadays? Like, if you say, hi, how you doing? Like, are you going to be accused of sexual harassment? It's like, like what is the definition? Because I guess it's up to an individual woman, right? Like me, I jokingly flirt and like, toss things back and forth with everybody, right? But I know, like, this one woman who actually is my lesbian friend, and of course you wouldn't be doing that to a lesbian, but she's like appalled. She's like, oh my God, like this is like sexual harassment. I'm like, no, it's not. I said, I'm enjoying it and returning it. That's not harassment. But then she like, so it's like, it's for each person, it's different. So how the fuck do you draw a line and like say, okay, this is this, so I feel like this might be a win in and again, I'm likely to believe that Cosby is a lascivious old man, with so many people saying this. But I mean, whether I think he is or not, I mean, I think this is a win going forward, not for him, not in his position, but like saying that, like, you have to, you can't just have like 20 people say, oh, he's guilty, he did this without any proof. And it's like, I feel like that's a good thing. And I just talked for a long time, but yeah.
No, you're good. I mean, I kind of said at the very beginning that the Me Too movement, which was being a political weapon, it discredits real victims. And I've seen it do more harm than good. And I have no idea where to even land on half that shit. But I think back to all the wrongful criminal accusations that were made against so many, and then all of a sudden it's just forgotten about.
Yeah.
So what I would do is everybody who made a wrongful criminal accusation, I'd charge them. But no, they have covered. It's kind of like what we spoke about a couple weeks ago, that you could say that the Chinese dictator is God and owns America, and I sold him weapons and blah, 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 blah on the floor of Congress, and you're protected because you're on the floor of Congress. So, okay, I'm using it as an example. I know it's a little extreme, but and I'm not saying that, that I did such a thing, FBI and NSA. I know you like to track me, or Craps. By the way, your system's sucking more than usual lately. Thank you, Craps. But nevertheless, it's like, okay, so you can make all these wrongful criminal accusations against all these people, be exposed that you lied, and then it's just, oh, well, it's forgotten about.
Yeah.
Okay. I just, it sickens me. The whole culture sickens me. And when it's opportune, it's okay. But when it's not in vogue, then it's not okay. It's just fucking, I can't even think of an example. I mean, what? Let's just use a basic example. I'm not looking to get into a discussion over this. I'm just using this as an example. Mm-hmm. And you could relate this to anything. So Democrats can say for 4 years the election was false, there was election fraud, everything else. Now 4 years later, if you even say that, we're going to ban you and you could be charged. Like, it's like the hypocrisy and just the rhetoric when it's okay when one does it, but not okay when this one does it. Oh, let's flip it now. Now it's okay when this one does it, but not okay when this one. It's like you could use that example for everything else, and it's just so fucking sickening. It never ends. I mean, I'm liking Rose McGowan more and more every time I see her speak. At least she's coming out with some real shit. So I don't know. You sit back and you watch everything going on, and it's hard not to get caught up in the minutia of it all. There's so many different distractors going on out there, so many different things happening all at once that's like deliberately being done as a distraction, valid or not. It has less credibility. Well, yeah, Jim said it in the friggin' chat room, that Gwen Berry person. I don't know who the fuck this woman is from Adam. I have no idea who this person is. But she turned and didn't want to stand or whatever, or something, put her hand over her heart for the national anthem.
Oh,
but then they got a picture of her on her website holding the American flag. Like, if you're gonna propagandize it and be used as a useful idiot for the left and whatever ideology, like, scrub your website better.
Yeah, but she did say that she felt that she'd been played, that she was very angry about the national anthem being played when she got up there. And that's why she pulled a shirt out and held that up. It said activist athlete or something like that. And she wouldn't pay attention to the national anthem. But the thing is that every day during these tryouts, something at 5:20 or 5:30, something like that, one of those times, they were playing the national anthem every day at that time. So it just happened to be when this particular group was coming up, and that's when they played it. So she acted all crazy. I'm like, I don't understand why you're
fuck
so
her.
Angry.
She's a useful asshole, and she serves no purpose in the reality.
Isn't that who you were talking about? Did I get that name wrong? Because I saw it in the chat. And
Gwen Berry? Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, no, she can go fuck herself. I don't give two shits about her.
Oh, wait. I thought that's who you were talking about. Wow, I got completely completely left track there.
No, you're right. And, but I played the hypocrisy game for a minute online when I went on Twitter for the first time, and God knows how long, and just engaged for all of 5 minutes. And I said, okay, so there's a picture of her holding the American flag all proud. I said, okay, so maybe she's not proud to be an American while there's a fascist in the White House. I don't blame you. I just, honestly, I could play this game all day. And it's I see her, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know who you are. And again, scrub your shit better. I just, whatever. But you know what was funny? One of I don't know the name. I know the story is out there, but one of the athletes, right? And again, I don't give a flying fuck about the Olympics. I'm sorry, I don't. God bless, do your thing, rock on. You got more talent than me, wonderful. I don't care. All right, I'm not gonna watch. I never did watch. I couldn't give a shit less. But it's okay, you're doing your thing, great. Okay, cool. But they made this big stink. Now, whether I agree or disagree, I'm just going to throw this out there, middle of the road. I'm going to be like what media should be. So one side was very upset about men participating in women's sports because they're trans, right? Okay, whatever. Right. We're not getting in that discussion. But what's funny is they were up in arms, but one of the trans athletes put his hand over her heart during the anthem.
Gets confusing, doesn't it?
Now what? Like, it's just like the conservatives that are like, oh, Caitlyn Jenner is going to save California. Like, oh. So
it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're fucked.
I give up, right? I give up. What the fuck?
Oh
so,
my God.
Like these fucking people, you just need something to be outraged over. You can't look at a base, a core, nothing. It's just gonna, oh, well, this one offends me today. Oh, well, now she doesn't offend me that much. But no, she'll offend me again tomorrow. But no, she's good. Oh, she's bad. Okay, cool. I just...
I can't keep up with what is politically correct and what's politically incorrect, what we're supposed to like or not like. I'm so confused because one day it's like you said, one day it's this, and one day it's the next day it's not. I'm like, oh,
right, like God, just stop. I can't fucking get into this shit. I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know, like some of us are focused on real world shit, and I don't care about the fucking hype machine. You know, and now the Delta variant is coming, and now we got to reimpose mask policies because who says so, or Fauci? Yeah, they're trustworthy. I mean, like, in this
the CDC is saying, or not that the CDC is trustworthy, but they're like, no, you don't need to wear masks. I'm like,
I know. Well, there we go. Right here, and it all starts again.
This is how I view it, and I've said this to my friend. I've said this a million times. And I said this to my friend today. That I'm a teacher with, because New Jersey is doing away with the mask policy come fall when school starts again. And so one of the teachers at my school, I guess, was bugging my friend because she's the chapter leader for the union, and was like, are they going to make us? Are they going to have masks in the fall or what? And I said to her, I don't know. The guy that asked about it, he's a definitely on the side of no masks, I'm sure, even though he's a science teacher, because he's definitely I don't know, because he's a Trump supporter, so I would assume he's a non-masker, but maybe because he's a science, I don't know, it's very confusing. I'm not going to try to figure that out. But I said to Tracy, I'm like, listen, I sure as hell hope that we don't have to wear masks when we go back in the fall. Like, I want nothing to do with masks. I thank God I didn't have to teach in the classroom with a mask on. Like, I was able to be remote. I said, there's no way I want to do that. And then she's like, I'm concerned because we're both, I know you didn't, but she and I were both vaccinated. And I don't give a fuck. And it's like, and she's like, well, I'm worried about the kids. Like, when the kids get sick. And I'm like, listen, I said, at this point in the game, you're either going to get vaccinated or you're not. And that's your right. Your body, your choice, right? So I don't care. So I feel perfectly fine not wearing a mask around anybody. And I want to do that. I want to have the right to not wear my mask when I'm teaching all day in a classroom that's a mess and whatever. And so if they get sick, and if they, because they didn't take the vaccine or whatever, if they did take the vaccine, I guess, whatever the case is, if they get sick and something happens, it's not, I don't care. I'm sorry. This sounds terrible. And I know I'm talking about school, but the kids are, even most kids, if they get sick with this, they bounce back. It's not a big deal. But like, I'm and she's like, what about their parents? I'm like, then their parents need to get their shit together. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. So you know what? A, you get vaccinated if you're worried. B, you don't. Regardless, I'm not fucking wanting to wear a mask. Let everyone figure it out and let nature take its course if it's supposed to, and whatever happens, happens. Call the fucking herd at this point. If it's the people who are vaccinated that need to go, fine, I'll see you. If it's the ones who aren't and they're heading off, bye. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of this. Like, you're never going to get herd immunity, which is what they wanted, right? You're never going to get that because way too many people won't get the vaccine. So fine. So let everyone do their own thing. More and more times when I go out now, I see fewer and fewer people wearing masks. There's still some people. I'm like, do I look at them like, you're an idiot? No. I'm like, okay, I just keep going. Who cares? Wear one or don't wear one, but don't mandate it anymore.
Yep. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You know my feelings. I am very much opposed to this one side, but at the same time, like, will you shut the fuck up about all this shit already? Just, at the very fucking core of what this country is supposed to be, it's libertad, right? Mm-hmm. Liberty, the right to do what you want to do and live your life freely. And it's just like and now with them turning on this fear porn again with the fucking Delta variant and all this other bullshit, it's like, yo, just shut the fuck up. Yeah. And they're upset because people aren't taking it seriously. I wonder why.
Yeah, right. Like, here's the thing, Dan. You watch. This Delta variant is going to be the real deal. This is the one that's going to like lay waste to the entire fucking population, right?
It'll be TV.
We're all sitting there like, yeah, no, because nobody believes it's the boy who cried wolf. Like, really, like, that's what's going to happen someday. Jeez.
It's right. Like, I can't fucking get behind it. Even when people ask me, like, I get it again. I told the story. It was funny. I didn't tell it to you, but I told the story on one of the shows. I haven't done all that many. I guess last week, right? I did 2 shows last week. Yeah, the friggin' Truly Uncensored, and I did the show The Lias. I said it was funny because I was with 3 other coworkers and we're all in a room, right? And they're all talking, they're all wearing their mask, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have to wear the mask, right? Everybody's vaccinated in this room." And I turned around and I said, "I identify as vaccinated." And they all put their mask back on. I'm like, "Yo, is great." That's all it's got to be, huh?
Wow.
I'm like, "Yo, I got my Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson. I'm good." But like, segregation live and in color. But that's cool. I'm all right with it. Like, you think you're making me feel bad or guilty?
If
you're not.
They're vaccinated, then why do they give a fuck?
I know. It's just funny. And I'm just like, damn, hey, you do you, but that's the biggest thing. And you get those assholes still like, "Oh, you're an anti-vaxxer." I'm like, am I an anti-vaxxer? Tell me what I am, please. Tell me what I am. Did I ever say that I'm against every fucking vaccine? No. I've yet to ever say that in my life. But I think it's funny where people just make the assumptions. I let them go with it. Like, you sound fucking stupid, so argue with yourself, moron. Just keep the views going. It's all good. Keep the engagement score high. You know what I mean? But like, whatever. And at this point, it's just, God, just fucking stop. Just fucking be chicken shit culture or not. I don't care.
Yeah,
I just don't fucking care.
No, I don't either. I'm over it.
Right? There's like, and here you go, people. Here's the perfect breakdown. You hear that, craps? So you don't have to worry. We have one person who's vaccinated and one person is not. So if you want to keep fucking up our broadcast, you
can't complain. We're representing both in the house here. We're equal
duality.
Yeah,
that's right. Even on Thursday, VHS, he's vaccinated and he's black. So there you go. Boom, cover. Don't worry.
We got all our bases covered. Wait, we need somebody. Wait, we don't have anybody gay. Oh, there's Elias. Never mind.
Oh,
I had to slam him. He hasn't answered me back when I said about the trying to learn the haps thing, which is fine because I don't need to learn now. So,
scold him. No, but we got to make our diversity quota for the night. So fucking whatever. But it's just like. At the same time, it's like some people are so caught up on this shit. I'm like, yo, have you looked around?
Yeah.
Like, have you really paid?
That's it, Dan. You've said this to me before. That's how they are like distracting people. Like they're sowing the seeds of discord, all these little things, all the stupid little shit. So it's all over the place. So they can do all these bigger moves and nobody's seeing it because they're too focused on the little stuff that's right in front of them. Because the average person is self-absorbed and only worried about their little world. And I mean, I understand, but at the same time, that's not going to work for the rest of your life. Like,
no, it's, I don't know. Something else that caught my ire, if you will, on the Twittersphere. Something I thought was funny was yesterday they had they had videos of the activists rushing and blocking the entrances of the White House and in the Capitol, and they were protesting. I think it was a climate change thing or something for the Green New Deal, whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, first off, like, that's an insurrection. But anyway, they were attacking police and everything. Like, that's an insurrection, isn't it? That's not an insurrection. Oh my God. But no, it's cool because, AOC took time out of therapy for her PTSD to go out there and speak to them. Like, you hypocritical cunt. Excuse my language, but you hypocritical fucking cunt. Like, you are one of the worst gaslighters I've ever seen in my life. And I hate pieces of shit like this. And yes, I said a nasty word, but honestly, I just, for the life of me, you sit there and you celebrate because they have a video, and this is funny. Like, they're hailing this arrest. The Capitol Police opened the door and left this grandma in. She's 69 years old. And the FBI had to go, well, we arrested her. She went to the Capitol. Meanwhile, AOC's cheering it on and everything else. But then you're out there with these people that are literally like attacking cops and trying to do whatever and disrupt the flow of government. Like, it's by your definition, it's the same thing. But no. It's like that doesn't work. And Toaster, I know you're commenting on Twitter, not on Twitter, on Twitch. I don't know why. Fucking Haps is blocking some comments or hiding them. I don't know why. We can't change it. So don't worry, Craps. We know you don't like us. But I agree. She'll be in politics forever. AOC is a lifer. But it's just funny. Like the fucking irony of it all. You know, like you sit there and you rant, you rave about everything else, but then you're out there doing the exact same shit. And it's just kind of funny to me. You're like, you know, and this will piss off the right-leaning, you know, the blue people, but yo, what about the cops that fucking held the door open and were waving people in the Capitol? Yeah. Should they be arrested too? Oh, well, that's different. Of them
walking around. Look, what about the one guy that was in the rotunda or whatever? Not the rotunda. The actual like where they actually sit, the senators and everybody sit down.
Yeah, giving him a tour. Please don't do any damage.
Yeah, can you please, you know, guys, can you just please take it? Like, I'm surprised that somebody didn't ask him to take a picture of them. You know,
right?
Like, can you? Here's my phone. Can you take a picture of us? Like,
yo, shouldn't that motherfucker be charged too? Lose his badge.
Guy was an idiot. That guy was a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm. So I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, I mean, what's good for one should be good for all, right? Mm-hmm. But it's so obvious. And then they have another story out. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Oath Keepers. Yes. Yes, and the Revolver, which is pretty much because the Drudge Report is shit, right? Drudge is shit. It's been shit for years, but they've gone. I think they were bought out by like he's CNN or some bullshit, whatever the fuck, right? But they try to pretend there's something like conservative leaning, but they're not. So they have this new one that's kind of taking its place, Revolver, right? It's very the hard right wing people really like Revolver, and they have some good shit. They do some good investigative stuff. And to your credit, before, even though I fucking hate the New York Times, they do some very good investigative reports, especially like for the Rittenhouse thing, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, the shooting in Kenosha. Like, yo, they are the ones that will get him off.
Yep. Yes. They exposed everything. They went through the video frame by fucking frame, all of the videos. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why, I mean, and like with any newspaper, and I said this earlier in the chat, I do appreciate, I like to read the Times because of the intelligence level that it's written on, because you get stuff like the New York Post and the Daily News, and I feel like I'm fucking 7 years old and picking my nose, you know?
Waiting for Bat Boy?
Yeah. But I mean, but again, as with any news source, you need to be careful when you read it. You have to have an open mind. You have to see through and see both sides. And there are, like when you see some of the articles, some of the investigative articles, like you said, are actually very, very good. I mean, like you just, you know, you just have to watch.
You know what's shit and what's not when you're reading it, but some of the stuff is good, right?
Yeah.
And that's my feeling with this Revolver piece. They put out a long piece today on their website, basically going after Stuart Rhodes, who is the founder of the Oath Keepers, saying, how come here's all his leaked text messages and everything else about, you know, we got to storm this. He was leading this up right after the election, and he was leading it up. And if the president fails to act, and we have to take it back and do this and all this other bullshit. And all these other people in the Oath Keepers, everybody else arrested, sitting in jail, not even charged, mind you. We're talking months in, like still in jail, not even being charged yet, which is completely unconstitutional. But nevertheless, it is what it is, right? So you have this happen, like, well, how come Stuart Rhodes has yet to face anything? And he has an association with the FBI, apparently, FBI informant, right? And they're breaking it out. And I give them credit for attacking a hard right thing on a right-leaning, you know, news aggregator. Like, good for them. Because these questions should be asked, because let's face it, simpleton people will take the lead and go where they're told to, when they're ushered in, and whether and there's also good people who would do it because they get caught up in the moment. I wish they didn't. I get that. Right. But to be honest, BLM was also in the Capitol doing much more than anybody did on January 6th. OK, but we forget about that. That's fine. It's not politically opportune, but people will fall victim, fall prey. But these people who are informants are literally leading people in to set them up to go after them. And that's the thing that I think gets no attention. But still we'll have people that say, oh, he's a patriot. He's a wonderful. People are asking the question, how come he's getting a pass? How come this one's getting a pass? This one's getting a pass. This one's getting a pass. But all the underlings, the regular people aren't. Why? Why 69-year-old grandma with a flag who's being let in and the door held open for her getting arrested? But this dude who's saying, we're going to have boats in the Potomac to armed and ready, quick reaction forces and shit like that. I mean, can we say gaslighting to a whole nother degree? Yeah. I mean, what's good for one should be good for all, right?
Right.
So it blows my mind a little bit as I see the bullshit continue. Like they're so hung up and still talking about that shit. And I look at what's going on everywhere else, like, wow, like the distractionary measures they're doing now this is what I mean. it's not left, it's not right. The globalists, the plan to just rot America to the core, which is done brilliantly. I mean, they're firing off everything they have now. I think they're just going all out. You know, I heard Biden bomb somebody again too. I don't know who. I missed that. I guess
with Iran and Iraq, there was some sort of thing with that.
Oh, okay.
To get them all confused, but yeah, something like that.
And now they're trying to say that if the troops do leave Afghanistan again, like
yes,
come on.
I was going to bring that up because I wanted your input on that. It's like, so they literally, and this is the bait and switch, keep people like confused, not paying attention to the real stuff. Like I heard on a brief passing, mention on the news that pulling the troops out of Afghanistan, then like the Afghan people are feeling like they're being left high and dry, and and there's like this whole thing. Like, and I will be the first to tell you, the only thing I know about Afghanistan is that it's old enough that it was in the Billy Joel "We Didn't Start the Fire" song, Russians in Afghanistan. I know we've been there forever. So I mean, like, so if we do pull out, like is it? Then they said they weren't even that worried about the Taliban taking hold again. That it's not even that. So what the fuck is it? Like, why are we all involved in this shit?
I know, it's just. It's crazy to me. Like they need to justify. They need to feed. They need to feed the military-industrial complex. They need to keep, continue to give it life, right?
You gotta have money. Well, you gotta get this economy booming, and that's the best way to do it.
Of course, death, destruction overseas, and imperialism. Like literally live and in person. Like I reached a whole new level. Like I literally retweeted something from Code Pink the other day. Code Pink. I fucking hated them, and now I'm like, wow. When Code Pink is making more sense than 90%, they were very prominent during the Bush presidency, protesting the war at his house, everywhere else, and but now I'm like, yo, they're yeah, and it hurt my soul a little bit, but I'm like, damn. They're talking about Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, McAfee, and even though they don't agree with, they're talking about the people being held in captivity from January 6th to still have been charged, and they're very much against the right. And I'm like, at least they're bringing up something of actual relevance. Like, what the fuck?
Being held without a charge, I'm pretty sure that goes against, everything that we're, talking about as far as the Constitution goes. Like, I know there's, you can't be held without a charge, right?
You're not supposed to.
Right? That's what I thought. I'm not that much. Come on now.
It's a little fucked up to me, but then we got to feed the fucking Mideast thing. And again, it's just amazing to me how you had the Taliban willing to meet with the last president to discuss whatever and the exit strategy, but now all of a sudden they're back to being they're going to kill us all and take over. Which is it? Yeah. I'm so tired of it. Like, Elias, right? Like Elias and I, we did some heinous shit on that show the other night. Like we did some, you would actually appreciate it. Like we did a Monday morning quarterback of 9/11.
You can thank me because he was in my class that I did a whole thing on 9/11 and picking what side, we did a research paper, you supported your viewpoint or whatever. So he knows a lot of shit because of me.
No, I know.
Because of you. So.
And no, he gave you credit, and you do sound far away from your mic, FYI. I don't know if that's intentional or not. I'm just letting you know.
I don't know. Is this better?
That's better. Wow. I'm sorry. Just throwing it out there.
No. I'm glad that you did. I'm very confused. Apparently, my computer is accepting my microphone. My computer microphone is being used. I have my headphones on my head, but they're apparently my microphone's not picking. I don't know.
Let's just playing craps. That's what I do.
I'm walking around with my computer in my hand now. That's all.
Just playing craps. But literally, we were talking about this shit. I'm like, again, history and facts are a bitch. It's like, so Saddam Hussein was bad, but he was good when we paid him and we armed him and we trained him to fight Iran. So right. Osama bin Laden is bad, but he was good when we paid him and armed him to fight the Russians in Afghanistan. And it's like, and we could do this all day. You know what I mean? Like all freaking day. We just keep getting into this shit. And it's like, dude, I know the initials when they matter. Who are the greatest terrorists in the world? ISIS? Nah. I'm going to say CIA. Taliban? Nah. I'm going to say FBI. I mean, let's just replace them all with fucking federal agencies because that seems a lot more apparent to me.
Well, I mean, and you have to understand. I mean, too, like the Taliban and ISIS, they were actually very good during this whole pandemic. They did social distancing. We hadn't heard anything about them pretty much. So hey, give them credit, right?
I
They
know,
were doing
amazing.
the right thing. Yeah, for sure.
I know. Oh God, no new wars. That's the thing that pissed off all. I mean, Jesus Christ, we didn't have to say the name, but that was like the cardinal sin. Like the last dude should have known. Like, there's gonna be some fuckery done because you didn't start wars and you hurt big pharma. That's like, no matter who you are, right or left, if you do that, you've made the powers that be very angry. So you will be targeted and all will fall victim in short time. And we're right there. I mean, insulin prices have shot up again and this is shot up again. Well, of course, because, and again, yes, Democrats control all, but there's a lot of your establishment rhino fucks that are quite happy helping aid it along. Because we got to make a money. We got to make a money. Oh, well, this person, I'm against the America First agenda. No, you're not. You're against the agenda that doesn't make
money
you richer.
For yourself.
Exactly. Yep. We don't even need to say his name. We don't even need to say his fucking name, and you get where we're going. Love, hate, agree, disagree, whatever. What it really comes down to is these fuckers get enriched off of death and violence overseas and on our own shores and people being sick and them selling you the cure and then the cure to the sickness and the cure to the cure and the cure to the cure, and everybody's dependent, everybody's hooked, everybody's the money keeps flowing. The money keeps flowing. So it's more evident than ever before, and did you hear, I don't know if you know much about him, but John McAfee, that whole thing?
The one is, you're talking about the guy that just died?
Yeah. When he said, where he often, I wonder if he used the fucking 15-ply toilet paper too, like Epstein. I mean,
yeah, the virus dude, right? Because he was like, they were saying he's like absolutely crazy, nutso bongo, but I'm like, is he really? Because he was in Spain. He was in a Spanish prison for tax evasion, I think it was, or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they waited to right after the election and they picked him up. And there's another one I wish would have been freed, but he used to be a contractor with NSA and
right. Well, of course, because the whole virus software thing. Yeah.
And he spoke too much, and he was able to put out tweets and shit from his prison. Even the Spanish guards in the prison can't believe this happened because he wasn't suicidal or anything else. But he put out tweets leading up to it saying they're coming for me. So remember, when I wind up dead in my cell, I did an Epstein myself.
He didn't. But he didn't kill himself. He just died of natural causes. They said that.
Oh, did they?
It wasn't even a suicide. It wasn't even a suicide, Dan.
Oh, but I thought they found a suicide note.
No, not that I know of.
The note must have said Delta variant.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. Yep.
It's coming. Fuck, man. I just, another movie I watched the other night that I never watched before. Now, I knew enough to agree with, but I never actually watched the movie. Oliver Stone gets a lot of heat, but he does a lot of good shit. I'll give him that. Mm-hmm. And I still liked his whole Putin interview series that he did. It was actually really good. But I watched the Snowden movie, and it just makes you sit back and say, damn. I
didn't even know they did a Snowden movie.
Yeah, you can find it on again
Netflix, Hulu, one of them.
They all have it.
Right.
But Snowden was pretty damn spot on. And it's amazing. I recommend people watch the movie. It's a little bit long, but watch the movie. I honestly got to say that, but just how they could single-handedly target you no matter where you are in the world, and literally they could listen in at any given time. Of course.
Well, that's like, so to, people who are concerned about getting tracked by, like, say, the vaccine or whatever, I'm like, you realize that thing that you are never separated from, except for like maybe when it's charging, your phone tracks you everywhere you go. Mm-hmm. Like the cell phone, you don't need to implant a chip in anybody. You're already being tracked everywhere. Done. Yeah. Come on.
We all fucking willingly went along with,
Absolutely. Give us a new shiny tech toy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And pay lots of money for it too, for the privilege of being fucking spied on continuously.
Yep.
And I know we started that conversation a while ago, and about when did all this begin? And I said, you know, late 80s, 90s, when HW said the whole New World Order bullshit and everything else leading up to. But it's the new medical tyranny is just being rolled in. There's no difference between the medical tyranny versus the Patriot Act. Right. Like the shit that's going on, it all rolls into the other and it helps the other, and it's all fucking. You don't have to sit there and rally against the technological oligarchs and the fucking, you know, technocracy. It's already here.
Yep.
You're never going to escape it. Never.
Well, what the hell just happened? Like they were doing like the antitrust thing. And the court basically said that the government didn't have a leg to stand on when it came to Facebook's monopoly of social media. That's what they said, that they were going against big tech. And so they handed Facebook a win. And it's like, I wonder how that happened. And I'm sure there were a lot of people who weren't very happy about that, but
of course, you know,
I mean, did you think you're going to, same thing with Amazon and Google. They're all like trying to like go after the big tech giants basically. And it's like, you're not going to win on that. You're not. I don't see how that's ever going to happen.
No, and 90% of this shit is all funded with government money anyway. You'll just never know about it. Again, DARPA, people, do your research. DARPA, do the research, and you'll learn all you need to know. So, I mean, it's just there's no way. There's no way that government agencies were involved in the creation of any of these things. You go along to get along. You get enriched off of freaking providing a service that people desperately need, but they're going to, in the meantime, steal your data, steal your info, watch you, monitor, track you, whatever. It never ends. It never ends.
And people are like, well, it's okay. I don't mind. I mean, I don't have anything that I'm hiding. I don't care. And that was often my response. But, it's sort of like, at what point does it just become too much, even if you don't have anything to hide? And like, you don't need to hear me talking about, I don't know, my recipe for deviled eggs or some shit. Like why? Why are you like, why is the average American being spied on? Do you really think that we have that much that we could provide you with? Come on.
We're all a fucking database. You know, we are all instruments of their control. And these illustrious third world countries they speak about, they have the right idea. Have the right. They're cattle. They're test subjects, but like literally, they're better off having less technology, and that's why it's funny when certain countries can ban Twitter altogether or ban this, and people are outraged. I'm like, wow, the hypocrisy there. You're outraged about that, huh? Like, good for them. Good for them.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. It's
I know.
A little crazy.
The world is just fucked.
We need that though.
It's just, it's never, there's going to be a breaking point, and what happens, where it comes from, what it is, who knows, but it's something's going to come to head soon enough. That's all I'm saying, and I fucking advocate for peace and unity, but at the same time, it's going down a dark road.
Peace and unity, but unfortunately, it's being held to stupidity.
Yes, we're long beyond the sanity and the sane people really running things. It's all by design at this point. And just so much shit. There's so much shit. I don't know. Sorry, I'm going off my own little rant. See that?
No, see, that's allowed.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm just fucking. It aggravates me. What do I hear? Do I hear a cat?
Yes, I was trying to mute myself. He's being annoying. I'm trying to hide it.
I thought so. Well,
he's annoyed because I didn't feed him yet, but he's going to have to wait.
That's okay.
I got him to go away.
Something else that I thought I saw that was intriguing on the Twitter sphere.
Okay.
Because I love this shit. What are we upset about today? Let's see. Let me get it right. This one comes to us from the ampdispatch.com, the Columbus. All right, let me open it up. Okay. The Columbus Dispatch from Columbus, Ohio. It's their newspaper. It's their online story. It's pretty cool that a judge, Richard A. Fry, now when you're on probation, part of your probation requirements in order to escape whatever charges it may be, speeding tickets, code violations, whatever, you are now mandated to get your COVID-19 vaccine.
What?
Nothing like, politicking from the bench there, huh, buddy? Like,
who the
yes.
hell? Where is this? What is this? When?
The Columbia Dispatch, and it's at amp.dispatch.com. This is a legitimate story. Actually, Tim Pool broke it on the Tim Pool podcast, but yes, and Cassandra Fairbanks did her own story, but it's rather entertaining. Like, so part of your probation requirements is that you have to get your COVID shot. Now, in the age of legislating from the bench, who the fuck is this person? I have a problem with judges more often than not anyway, because I'm this is where I come to odds with a lot of the conservative people, because I'm like, again, who the fuck are you to dictate, what I'm able to do, what it's a long discussion and I could rage about it forever, but no one person should have such power. All right.
No.
But a judge to tell you that part of your probation, where in the state constitution, the Criminal Law Digest of Ohio, the U.S. Constitution, does it mandate that if you're tried and you pay your debt to society, blah, blah, all this shit, that you have to get a vaccine? Leave out the COVID name if you want. Make yourself feel better, right? Anybody listening? Who the fuck is a judge to tell you that you have to do something to your body in order to appease him? Who the fuck is he? A little old douchebag wearing a robe that makes probably about $300,000 a year to dictate to you how you can or can't live your life? Fuck you. Activist judges on either side, fuck you. It is the most disgusting thing in the world to me. And this is just one of the many examples. But again, it's lawfare. It's literally, it's where ideology comes in over the written law. Who the fuck are you? And somebody said, oh, what if he's a conservative? I don't give a fuck if he's a conservative, a Democrat, I don't give a fuck who you are. First off, if you're a judge, I don't want to know your political leanings. I want to know you're going to interpret the law as it was written. Okay. But honestly, who is any judge to tell you what you can or can't do to your own body? Like, there's something about that. But this is Ohio, though, with it's a Republican governor. He's a piece of shit having the lottery where people could win millions if you get your vaccine. Listen. As I said before, if you have to upsell something that much and bribe people, you should question things, all right? But they're going a bit overboard. So I hope this state senator fucking beats Robert DeWine, whatever his name is, the current sitting Republican governor of Ohio in the primary, and oust him before the general. I hope so. He gets what he deserves. He's a piece of fucking shit. But nevertheless, you're literally allowing your judges and the state Supreme Court. I mean, what are they going to do? Is there any line they will not cross? I don't understand. And then some people get upset. Well, how come the U.S. Supreme Court isn't stepping in? Because as I try to explain to people, there's a little thing called states' rights. Yeah. And people don't understand. The federal government was never supposed to be the almighty end-all be-all. It was supposed to be that each individual state has their own state rights. And they're part of the bigger collective, the federal government, right? Mm-hmm. But the states are able to dictate their own whatever. All right, I'm not going to go into a whole fucking breakdown, but people don't understand this sometimes. And I get it. But isn't that going too far? So what's next? We're gonna mandate other medical experiments on people as you didn't pay your speeding ticket, so it's either go to jail or be on probation. But in order to get off probation, you have to have a limb amputated, or you have to have where does it stop? Yeah. Where does it stop?
Yeah, this is very weird.
It's fucked up
because it was I think it was Texas Methodist Hospital or something like that. Mm-hmm. They were saying that their employees all had to be vaccinated, and there was like a lawsuit or something. There was like 145, I think, employees of the hospital said they refused to get their vaccine, that they couldn't mandate it because it is not FDA approved yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the crux of this whole issue. Because the FDA has not given it full approval yet, you really can't mandate anyone to get it. Like that's not cool at all. Like sorry. And
When they
so
ran in, oh, go
go
ahead. I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I was just gonna say. So I know that but I guess a judge said that basically, like the company, because they were a private employer, could put that as part of their keeping employed to their so basically they said sorry, and if you don't get vaccinated you can be fired, and they actually fired like two of the board members who said because they were one of the first ones that were supposed to get it, and they refused, and they fired them. And I'm like, wow, damn. So yeah, because it's a private employer, they can have any kind of demands on you as far as keeping employment. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, what they failed to talk about is HIPAA and the ADA. And that's where you actually have a better argument to defeat such things, even private employers, because ADA and HIPAA compliance are a whole different thing. There you go. Thank you.
I thought I'd sent it. It was sitting there for this like whole time.
No, it's cool. I suck with share. It's for one of the times I could actually pinpoint an article. Of course, I don't fucking share it because I'm not tech savvy enough. But but honestly, like I just.
You're right, Dan. You said, where does it stop, right? And
yes.
So go ahead.
It's a bigger. People want to immediately. They want to belittle it by making it about COVID. It's nothing to do with that. No. And that's what people fail to understand. And again, here's two people having this conversation that have different beliefs on one thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We can both see that this is the line. Once you cross this line, you never go back.
Yeah.
You know? You never go back. You don't have the right. And that's why I fully support this international lawsuit being brought on by, I think we're up to like 200 or 300 lawyers from all over the world, the Nuremberg Code and the Nuremberg Code violations. And again, if one tenet of the Nuremberg Code is violated, it is considered a crime against humanity. Okay, so with the rollout in America and the forcing and this and that, wherever some places this that, it violates all 10 tenets. Okay, that is what it is. That's not me giving an opinion. That's the actual Nuremberg Code. Cool. Anyway, but the problem is, so on one hand, you're saying you have the right to privacy, HIPAA protects you, and Americans with Disability Act protects you from ABCD. Okay. Right. But on the other hand, you're saying, oh, well, we can make an exception for. No, you can't. Well, it's like, though you think you can, even a private employer, you still have to adhere to federal regulations. So you see, that's where people are wrong. They're suing or going after, and they're saying the wrong things. They need better attorneys, and you could actually get them on the right things if you know what the fuck. And misinformation is key, right? We can't put out good info because if people are confused, they're going to fuck up, and we're going to win. Yep. But it's bigger than COVID. It's ADA does protect you from an employer standpoint, and I'll break that down tomorrow. I'll do a whole difference on what ADA and HIPAA does for when it comes to public institutions like a Walmart, a Target versus
businesses and all that. Yeah.
There is protections and there's a whole bunch of shit there. So but I'll break it down tomorrow. But it's just, again, what we can, I'm sure, agree upon is, when does it stop? Where does it stop? How far do they go? If you continue to give, they continue to take and take and take. I mean, I'm upset about Kamala Harris keeping black people in jail longer and using them as free firefighters for wildfires in California. Do you know that's one of the reasons why she's so unpopular with the African American community, especially in California? That is literally indentured servitude. That is literally that is slavery. You
might as well put them on the chain gang and
exactly
because
same difference.
Do that, yeah.
Same difference. Even prisoners,
more dangerous,
right? Prisoners have rights as well.
Yeah.
So and people forget that. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck about them. They're in prison. Well, you know what? If something happens to you, right?
Yeah.
Ace.
We were just talking about you.
What is up, Ace? Love you. But it's like, it's like if something fucking happens to you and you're wrongfully fucking convicted or whatever, like, do you want to just be able to say, I have no rights because I'm in prison, right? No, you don't. Humanity doesn't end. And I know that's going to piss off some of the right-wing people. I don't fucking care because either side sounds fucking stupid. you know?
Yeah.
And I just, who the fuck is any judge to put on a robe and tell you what you need to do to your body?
Yeah.
Fuck you and your interpretation of the law. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And this is the shit. This is where I'm not advocating violence. I'm saying this is the shit where you should sit in, protest, whatever the fuck you do in that courtroom, in that courthouse. The fucking go to fucking Columbus. Do something. Because it's out of control. And yes, it's a Republican governor, but he's a piece of shit just like a Democrat governor. Okay? I'm normal enough to call out good versus bad, fucked up versus not fucked up. This is fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like you have people that live in San Antonio, and if they violate San Antonio's mask policy, they could get fined, but even though the state doesn't recognize, stop.
Out of here. Yeah, no.
Stop. And again, we're not even talking about vaccines or COVID. It's just it's an example of when they go too far and how we give so much fucking power to these assholes with no checks and balances, no nothing. Do you know that I say the name Clarence Thomas and everybody, oh, he's a fucking conservative, he's a piece of shit, he's not really black. Do you know he just put out a whole fucking dissent piece about how, federal laws against marijuana are unconstitutional and they should be stopped and everything else? But we should hail that as thank you. Somebody fucking saying what nobody else had enough balls to say. But no, we don't talk about. No, he's a conservative.
We have
Come
to
on.
stop. That's the problem. Everyone has to stop labeling everybody as the enemy. If you're, you can't be conservative, you can't be liberal, you can't you need to stop looking at people as, and this is no pun intended, black or white. It's just, you can't do that because there's a lot more. I mean, I have to say, and I can't remember what the hell there was. Did you hear about the Supreme Court and how they ruled on the Pennsylvania cheerleader? Did you hear about that story?
I don't know it all. I heard something, but I didn't look at it all.
Well, Kevin and I covered that on our show, so I know about this one. So it's very interesting because it was this young girl, and she was a freshman at the time, and now she's, I think, a senior or something like that, a junior, because it takes time. Well, anyhow, so she tried out for the varsity cheerleading squad, and she was on the softball team or whatever. And I don't know, I guess she didn't get on it or whatever the heck happened. But she put on, I think it was on Snapchat, which only lasts like a little bit, right? The post only lasts, I think, 24 hours or something. But she posted, she's like, fuck cheerleading, fuck softball, fuck everything kind of thing, right? Like, fuck school, fuck everything. Mm-hmm. And the school went crazy. Like the coaches, because somebody took a screenshot of it and showed the coaches. So I know. And this is what I tell like my students, and like I expect them to be learning the lesson the hard way. But adults don't, are stupid about this too. It's like, you post something on social media, it is never going to disappear. It will always be somewhere. Like, don't think, I can delete it and it won't be there because you're wrong. If somebody just happened to save that, because you post stuff on Facebook, you can save people's pictures, right? You can literally download their photos. You can do a screenshot of their photos. Like, come on, guys. Anyhow. So that they kicked her off the softball team. They kicked her off the cheerleading team. And the parents were like, this was outside school. It wasn't done on school time, whatever. Blah. To make a long story short, it went through the courts and landed at the Supreme Court. And they found in favor of the kid.
Good.
Because it was infringement on her freedom of speech. Because she didn't threaten anyone. She wasn't bullying anyone. And she didn't do it on school time, so therefore the school had no leg to stand on. And so one of the judges that actually supported this, and I can't remember, it was either Kavanaugh or it was is Clarence Thomas the oldest judge now?
I think so. So at this point,
so I think he might have, because I think Kavanaugh voted for the girl, and I think Clarence Thomas actually wrote the whatever they call the reasoning, argument.
Dissent?
No, he didn't dissent. He agreed. He agreed that she should. Yeah. And so he actually, because they were shocked because he's the old fart on the bench. And he was like, while she didn't have to use, such, suggestive language, that, that's not what matters, and that she has the right to free speech just like anyone else, and that the schools overstep their bounds. And so it's so you can't look, and I know I wasn't a fan of Kavanaugh, because he was like such a fucking whiny little snot when he was being, the confirmation hearings. I'm like, oh my God. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and him and Amy Coney Barrett, both of them have been showing up, proving to be pretty much what they're supposed to be, not biased. Like they are looking at the letter of the law, they're looking at the Constitution, and they're interpreting it, and they're not being like pawns. And I appreciate that, But like, oh, you can't say that about those three because they're all conservatives. I'm like, I don't give a fuck as long as they do their job.
Was this the 9-0 decision? Did all go in favor?
I think they did. I'll double check real quick, but I think now that you're saying that, I think they did.
I mean, that's a beautiful fucking thing because when you're telling me the story, I'm thinking, so what? She can say whatever the fuck she wants to say. That's your right.
Yeah.
Like Jesus Christ, who cares? I
mean, let's see. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead. I'll tell you one. 8-1. Who was the one that like didn't?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. It was Clarence Thomas dissented.
I'm surprised.
He said, he dissented in the case. He said, what was his dissent? I guess I misheard that. I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. But he said, apparently, well, no, everyone else basically said that, like, that basically interest in protecting a student's unpopular expression, whatever, especially when it takes place off a campus. But it doesn't say what Thomas said. Oh, I thought I misheard that. But so everyone but him said, yeah.
But it's strange. It's strange, right? But then again, look what he did with the weed shit. Where I'm like, good, so it's good.
Oh, I see what it is. Why he said it. I'm sorry, and now I understand. He says the foundation of the. So he said that since the speech was made through social media and can be seen and shared on campus, it often will have a greater proximate tendency to harm the school environment than will an off-campus in-person conversation. He said that the majority failed to explain why it breaks from a prior rule that schools can regulate off-campus speech so long as it has a proximate tendency to harm the school, its faculty or students, or its programs. So he said that the majority's ruling is untethered from anything stable. I think he's trying to like
agree with not agreeing.
Yeah, it's very vague. The majority fails to consider whether schools often will have more authority, not less, to discipline students. Yeah. So I think he was concerned. I think I remember hearing that he was concerned because, I mean, it's different. Like, so if a kid is like bullying or threatening somebody on social media outside of school, the school still has jurisdiction. I think maybe he was worried that might start to get into a shaky ground if you okay this. I think that's where he was going.
Even though I disagree, I can understand the technical shit behind that. And I'm not defending. I get it, but that's that slippery slope that's been done. Fucking Internet Bill of Rights, people. But it just goes with the outrage thing that we were talking about before. Like I said, you go back to what we were talking about. 45 minutes ago, with one-sided uproar about trans athletes, and then here's this one woman who disrespects the national anthem, but the trans athlete put the hand over the heart. So it's like, again, stop making it always fucking about, you're unpersoning people. I'm fucking clusterfucked here. You're not talking about the person anymore. Right. You're talking about their label or their ideology or this or that, and that's why fingers should be pointed back at these pieces of shit like that judge douchebag in Ohio. And it's like, again, because you're a judge, I'm supposed to respect you. Because you're a judge, I have to do what you say, when you say it, how you say it, because you are the law.
Well, the next step he's going to take is, so any sex offenders, when they're being released, he's going to, enforce castration. Now, I know that some people be like, well, good, that's what they deserve. But what, some people serve sentences when they're not guilty. Like, just think about that.
That's
a first thing that makes me nervous right there.
Because how I feel about pedophiles, rapists.
Yes, I agree. I absolutely
racists
agree.
And animal abusers. But
that's what changed my mind about the death penalty. Because I used to be like, oh no, the death penalty should, whatever. I was a very firm supporter of it. But if I was a juror on a death penalty case, I would have to have, the guy would have had to have, or woman would have had to like confess to doing it. Like I would not feel right in like condemning someone. Like I'd be afraid. Like what if there's that slightest? And I know that's was supposed to prevent someone from like voting yes or no, but I mean, but you know, people like that. There's the tiniest shred of like positive. Like you're not totally positive. Like I could never do that. I could never live with myself if I was like one of the jurors who said yes, he should fry, and then come to find out 10 years later he was innocent. You know
unless said person is literally on video and says,
right.
"Yep,
Yes.
I did it."
Yeah, right.
You know, and again, Ace is spot on. It's not a coerced confession. It like
right.
there's some fucking big ass circumstances that go into that.
Yes.
You know, and we don't look at that. We just go along to get along. Go with the herd, right? Go with the herd.
Yep.
And it's wrong. It's wrong. This justice system is so beyond. Yes, it is so beyond fucked, and it's beholden upon people to realize that it doesn't matter any longer when they're doing the trigger words in the media and shit like that. Understand it's being done for a reason, but it's beyond your ideology. It's beyond where you live. It's literally, are you a useful tool or useful slave or useful idiot for them? If not, they do with you as they please.
Yep.
And there's so many people. Again, I know firsthand experience, and I love that they do this, but so many people still in jail because of marijuana, because of cocaine, because of like shit like this. But we have fucking other shit. It just, where does it stop?
No, and that's something that I, for a long time, I was like, well, you know, drugs are bad, right? You know, not all drugs. And then I'm like, you know, and then you hear about these other countries who legalize all drugs, right? Legalize them all, and then like the addict problems and everything else kind of like start to like dissipate, and it's not nearly as bad because they have like programs to help them. But it's like if you take out the illegal part, you solve so many other problems in society. And so like really, like, so why would I care if somebody wants to shoot up cocaine? Shoot up heroin or snort cocaine, you know? I mean, like, I don't care. Yeah, let me get my terms straight. I mean, why would you care? Like, you know, if they're not harming you, I mean, obviously you can't drive or whatever, but I'm just saying, like, it seems like there's, you know, making things illegal, you know, cause so many more problems. I mean, if you didn't learn from fucking prohibition, you're never going to learn, you know?
Law after law after law after law. It's just like big pharma. Here's the cure. Here's a cure for the cure. Here's a cure for that cure. Here's a cure for that cure. Yeah. It's the same vicious fucking cycle. Oh, you want to be free? We need more war. You want to be free? There, we need more war, death, right? It's the same bullshit. Lawfare is real. False wars are real. Proxy wars are real. Wag the dog shit is real. Like, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And I taking that few minutes to look at social media was just so enlightening. It was so enlightening. And kudos to the people. Like I said, I never thought in my life I fucking retweet anything from Code Pink. But here I am, you know. I got a retweet from Rose McGowan, actually, too, which I thought was pretty cool. But, like, you know what? Shout out to her. Like, the people that are least fucking, I don't give a fuck about your ideology. I give a fuck if what you say is making sense.
Right.
You know? And we've lost that ability to just have regular fucking, like, thought and opinion and questioning things. And it's like, no, you can't think that. You can't be that way because we say so. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? It's a lawless state with more laws than we know what to do with. And I just it's going a very interesting direction. That's it. Yeah. You know? But again, a special fuck you to that judge in Ohio. And I don't give a fuck if anybody says that I'm offending the law, or I don't know if he's a conservative or a liberal. I don't know if he's Baxter Blue. Fuck, I don't care.
Nope.
Judges, for the most part, fucking sicken me. And it's a damn shame because I'm sure there's some good ones out there, right? We could play that game. Oh, it's not the whole FBI. There's some good FBI. It's not the whole CIA. You know what? When the fucking crimes against humanity come from the whole, and you're part of that, I'm sorry. You get no love from me. Oh, you're one of the good ones, so we'll give you a pass. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
we fucking
well,
spiraled into a whole bunch of shit there.
no, but it's perfectly fine. I mean, that's what we were talking about. Like it just there's there is so much going on right now. It's like, where do you even start? Like,
Yeah,
what do you, I mean, and like we started with one thing and like went like 20,000 different things, and there's still 20,000 more. It's kind of
it all kind of
sad.
rolls back into the fucking whatever the hell we started the show with. It's like,
Yeah, I think it was a
it's
race for mayor. I think that's what we started
yeah,
with.
New York City, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
fucking
because
get
we were
you,
talking about the MTA, we were talking about tolls, and then like that's where
yes,
we got from there. Yeah.
dude, like you gonna get your red beret? Um,
Yeah. Hey, listen, I would back if I was a registered voter, I'd be backing Sliwa for sure.
yeah, I mean, hey, at least he's got some balls,
Yeah.
that's how I feel. That was the most boring topic I think of anything we addressed.
Yeah.
That's just
But
New
it
York
took us,
politics.
but it took us other places though, and I think it's important. Like people like like big cities, whatever. But like you have to look at the big cities because that's where a lot of shit. Like, and I've said this before. Like New York City, like Delaware Valley or Tunkhannock or wherever, like farther west you go out of the city, the longer it takes things to get there, right? Like
Mhm.
fashion, like tongue in cheek when I say fashion, I'm talking about like your, drawers hanging down below your ass. But and like everything starts in the city and it takes like 5 or 6 years for it to get out here. And that's not just stuff like that. It's like everything that
Yeah,
happens in you know what I mean? It's not just, school stuff or whatever. It's a lot of shit that starts there and it kind of bleeds out. And people should be aware of that and concerned and like, oh, I don't care about what happens in New York City. You should.
yeah.
If you're living where we live, you should.
No, I totally agree. You're not exactly safe just because you're 100 miles away from a big city. No,
Nope.
especially our area. Jesus Christ, look south, look fucking
Yeah.
what west or,
Yep.
or
We
east,
got
whatever the
yep.
fuck.
And we got it
Yeah,
all. We've got it all. We got Philly. We got New York. We got Pittsburgh. We got north of us. We've got. I mean, I don't know what's the closest one north. I don't know. Binghamton. That's not
yeah.
really a big city, but you know what I'm saying. But
Albany.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're not that far from DC. Like
hmm People need to take wind, and
yeah.
it's interesting to see what goes on there. And I mean, hey, I hope for the best because it needs a gutting. It needs a fucking
Mhm.
gutting. And I listened to Sliwa fucking talk about. No, I listened to him his acceptance speech. There you go. I listened to when he actually got the nomination for mayor and on the Republican side. And I listened to him talk. I'm like, you know what? It was actually refreshing to hear him not talk about just like right wing talking points and shit. He was just talking to everybody. I'm like, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. And that's what you need more over there. At least there's a dude who's done a lot of work that you could actually sit there and say, well, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this for fucking decades. I respect that. Even the dude on the other side that you were talking about, like whether I agree with
Eric
his
Adams. Yeah.
whether I agree with the politics or not, at least he's actually done shit and put time in the community, not these fucking
Yeah.
outsiders and these fucking
Yeah.
carpetbaggers,
Like Andrew Yang and all that. Yeah. Like okay,
Fuck
sure.
him.
Shut up and sit down.
Right? Is Andrew Yang still a fucking hero of like a folk hero like AOC? Like, are they
I
finally
don't
moved
think
on?
so because he finally like he dropped out of the presidential race. He dropped out of the mayor race. He's like nobody likes him. So I think the
But
only
it's
one who got fewer votes than Andrew Yang, I think, was Scott Stringer, the one the UFT backed. Oh my god, that's usually the kiss of death if the UFT backs you. So
pretty freaking much, right?
yeah.
But I hate when I see the idiots like tweeting their fucking Andrew Yang shits and tweeting their Bernie things and tweeting like stop.
Oh my god. I was listening to, before anyone yells at me, I listened to different news sources and different news stations because I like to be well informed and like to hear all the sides so I can make my own decisions. With that said, I was listening to CNN. No, it was NPR the other morning, and they were interviewing Bernie Sanders. And they were actually, the woman who was interviewing him was asking him, about like the whole why is he and like his little crew there, why are they voting against Biden's infrastructure plan? When it's like everyone in the party's trying to get through, and he said, I'm not voting on it because, and then he starts off with this you gotta have and he like listed like 20 things, like climate change and or global warming, whatever the fuck he calls it, climate change and paying for this and that, and like all this socialist stuff. And none of it had anything to do with an infrastructure plan. And I'm like, this is the problem. And it's not just him. This is all of these assholes in Washington. There's a bill that they're trying to get passed and I think that the infrastructure plan dealing with just the infrastructure problems is a good idea. I think that we do. I mean, Christ, Dan, you see what our roads are like here in Pennsylvania. Jesus Christ. We need help with infrastructure. I know. Because people like that asshole are like, well, it's got to include this, this, and this for me to vote for. And then someone else is like, well, then it has to include this, this, and this. And I'm like, no, none of this has anything to do with infrastructure. Keep your fucking shit on target. If the bill is supposed to be about infrastructure, there should be nothing allowed that doesn't have to do with infrastructure in it. Period.
It's just like when we spoke about a couple weeks back about the hate crimes legislation. I said that, remember, it's never about what it is in its face. If it was a bill that was addressing specifically, let's say, online bullying, and it was a 2-paragraph bill that said we're going to make this a crime, that's it, perfect. But whatever the main topic is to get the media talking points, it's that plus 30,000 pages of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's where I always come to odds with any of the bull, because it's horseshit. Because let's face it, Bernie, who's, I know this and to be honest, he's probably a folk hero like Ron Paul is to some on the right, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, another one of them. When he talks about like his version of socialism, like, I hate to break it to you, dude, it has nothing to do with what real socialists believe. And I've at least done enough research and put in enough time to know that it doesn't jive with, but he says some of the things, so therefore we got to support. No. He's nothing more than a big league politician playing the game and trying to enrich his benefactors.
And look how much money the man's worth. Like, you want to talk about like, socialism. Well, why don't you start spreading your dough around? There you go.
That'll never happen. And it's the same. That's what I mean. It's the same bullshit. And, we have to have $65 million for aquatic studies in the fucking aquarium of Vermont. That's infrastructure. Yeah. We have to have fucking $16 billion for fiber optic cable to fucking stop. Just stop. It's never ending. Because, again, what you said, the infrastructure at its core, it's not even very different from when Trump tried to pass his infrastructure bill and the Republican-controlled Congress wouldn't pass it because it didn't include enough special interests. Same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving any credit to that fucking racist, bigot, fucktard scumbag that we have in the White House, but nevertheless, at its core, it could be good. That's why it'll never happen. It'll never fucking happen. Because they have to enrich everybody else, but always leave out us. Always leave out our environment. Always leave out what we deal with on the day-to-day, because they don't care. They just don't care. They want all their special interest friends to be taken care of. They want their suitors to be taken care of. They want their special, whatever. It's always got to be more for these people that have. What the fuck does fucking sleep apnea research have to do with infrastructure?
Not a thing.
That's in the bill. Again, that's our money. Okay?
Yeah. So,
and this is what I mean. This is the bullshit. This is the bullshit that not enough people fucking talk about. And it goes along to get along. I don't know.
It's disgusting. And I am like appalled at like this. It was so funny because I kind of knew it, but to hear him so like adamantly opposed to his own party's attempt at doing this because of I was just like, really? Like, you are a complete fucking asshole. Like, it really struck me the other, like when I heard that, I was just like, wow, what does that have to do with any of this? So
right. Yeah. And that's why, regardless of my belief structure, I will respect somebody more if they're an out and about fucking like, I am a socialist. This is what I believe, and I will not break. I will not shake. This is what I believe in, and I will never ever stray. I can respect that. I can respect that because at least you have your core principles and you're going to stick to them, and nothing's ever going to shake you. I respect that. I do. Whether I agree or not, at least you're being who you are. Not these fucking wish-wash fucking scumbags that, Bernie, was he an independent that day when he said that, or was he a Democrat? Because he can't make up his fucking mind. I'll never back Hillary Clinton, but I'll bow down and fucking suck. Anyway, it's maybe he didn't want to get whacked, but nevertheless, I mean, it's sickening. You wait. I swear to fucking God, when the day comes I run for office, I'm going to say, what is the federal government's, you know how they like to say that an acceptable living wage is like $51,000 a year. Mm-hmm. And because, that's enough money to live and survive. And that's the acceptable whatever for whatever district or state or whatever that I'm running in. I'm going to say, good. The $172,000 salary, I'm going to take the $51,000 a year, put the rest of the money back to my fucking district. And I'm going to run once. And if you think I did a good job, I'll run one more time. Then I'm done. I'm going to term limit myself. Wait, we don't have that. No. We don't have that. We have these fucking career assholes that go along to get along, say what they need to say, get in, and then it all fucking changes, right?
Yep.
Like that. You need more of that shit.
Yep.
Again, the dude who's fucking cut my hair in Maryland, I trust far more with going to elected office than more than half of these scumbags that we see on TV or Twitter or anywhere else or are currently in government. Regular people get regular people. Imagine that. But don't worry. Jellyfish studies, that's infrastructure.
Oh, Christ.
And seeing this stumbling dumb fuck like a month or two ago when he unveiled his infrastructure, and that was the most painful. Listening to it on the radio was even worse than watching it. At least watching it, you have something to laugh at. But trying to listen to this asshole explain, come on, man. Having good Wi-Fi while you're on a train, that's infrastructure. The fuck are you talking about? What about the crater-sized fucking pothole on Route 81?
Yeah.
That's more infrastructure than high-speed Wi-Fi on a fucking train. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about? Having the ability to get your prescriptions delivered, that's infrastructure. Huh?
Well, is that because he's making the roads better so that people can go faster, the delivery vans?
No, it had nothing to do with that. Well, maybe that's what he intended to say, but we all know that motherfucker can't string together fucking coherent thoughts and sentences. But he should have probably pivoted to the cackling asshole racist bitch and asked her while she's hanging out in fucking whatever part of Texas she is.
Well, the one speech, she's like behind him, and like that was the one that right before the it was the day that the collapse in Florida happened, and like he was turning around to like leave, and she like was like, go talk about Florida, and he's like, oh, and then he came back around. I'm like, oh my God, who's in charge here?
Please, like they have any fucking clue. You
want infrastructure? There you go. Talk about like the lack of fucking inspections and shit. Like that's not really infrastructure, but like I'm just thinking about the collapse of that building. I'm like, holy shit, that was insane. So,
quote, having accessible rest stops when you're traveling on the highway, having accessible rest stops with working toilets when you're traveling on the highway, that's infrastructure. That's what leads to a better and safer America.
Well, I do like to have a toilet I can go to that I don't have to spend money at, like the roadside stop, like the rest areas. That's nice. And it's nice that they're clean, but I don't think that makes America safer. Wait, no, it does. Because if I had to pull off the side of the road to pee in the woods and a bear attacks me, hello.
Says the politicians who shut down rest stops for all the truck drivers during the heart of lockdown.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. And we need $111 billion to make that a possibility. Get a fucking plunger. Whatever.
The amount of money has gotten to the point where you hear these numbers. It's like 3 trillion, 9 trillion, trillion, like whatever, trillion, bazillion. And it's like, it doesn't even mean anything anymore. It's just like, so you can print more money at this point. Like, I mean, like, really, like, I don't like, you keep talking about but it's not even real money. It's just like numbers that go from one person's account to another person's account, or from one, like, government agency. It's just, it's what's frustrating. And that's when Americans say, I don't understand big government, I just don't care, because they get frustrated and it's hard to understand. And if you don't persevere, you don't get it. And it's just like, fuck this. And I get that. I understand why Americans are so disengaged from voting and everything else, because why?
Yeah, I know. Voting is sacred and the institution is secure. Whoops. Don't look at New York.
We count 150,000 test votes, and
don't look at New York City. Don't pay no mind to what's going on here. That didn't really happen. He's a liar. It's a great lie. It's a liar. Everything's a lie. Don't listen to that. Pennsylvania, 1.6 million mail-in ballots, and 2.3 billion came back. Oh, nothing to see here. It's all good. It's all legit. It's all perfect. Fucking, and are they not? I believe they are. Isn't the fucking senile douche one talking about fucking another stimulus bill too? Another stimulus?
Oh, there was some talk about it, but I think there's enough pushback about that because, I mean, well, they're saying, so it's interesting. Like, it's, I don't think anyone can figure out. So, you have the idea of like people who are getting the extra money if they're unemployed. And then, like, we have this like huge, like, like job, not a job shortage. We have a job overabundance and not enough people to work them, not enough people to fill the jobs. And so I know that there were some, and this is interesting because I said, to Kevin, I was like, well, I mean, obviously, and there's people saying this too, that, well, if you're getting paid extra money to stay home, why would you want to get a job? Or why would you want to take a job that's like shitty again or whatever, like you came from? But then the states that like were like decided like to end the extra stimulus, like for the unemployed people sooner, they still weren't having any uptick in people applying for jobs. And then there was another report that just came out from the New York Times. So the New York Times, here we go, is actually reporting whoever the person was reporting is actually saying like on, like being like legitimate what news should be, and said that there was a state, I want to say it was an M state, Missouri, Mississippi, I think it was one of them, that where actually, and it was a delayed, it was like a week later or 2 weeks, two weeks after the jobs report came out or whatever, they actually had an uptick in applications. So I mean, which is it? You know what I mean? Like it's and I understand some people. I will tell you that I've been looking on Glassdoor, just like seeing what jobs are out there, like in the area or whatever, anything like, and I didn't put any like qualifications. I'm just like, I just want to see what's out there. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because a lot of the places, and so like, for instance, the Settlers Hospitality Group. So that's the Settlers Inn, it's Glass Wine Bar and Ledges Hotel. They own something down in Bethlehem, I think. And so they have a bunch of places, right? They're crying for everything, every position, and especially like front desk, like, help. Same with Woodlock, which is another big resort around here. And I think there's, what the hell's the other one? I think maybe I can't remember. There was somebody else's. They're all looking like for front desk help, but also for servers and everything else. So and I was reading description. And so for the Settlers Hospitality Groups, they get this. They are also looking for an accountant. So first off, the Settlers, the front desk person for the hotel, of course you have to be like personable, blah, 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 check people in, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then it says like you have to be available to work nights, days, weekends, holidays. It's like, what? Like, and it didn't say the salary. I'm like, all right, like who wants to be on call all the time? Then they were looking for an accountant / payroll. That's what they put for the Settlers Hospitality Groups. That's for like the whole shebang, not just for like the Settlers Inn, but like for all the things. Do you know what they actually put the salary in for the accountant for the entire hospitality group? They wanted to pay $30,000 to $35,000. And I'm like, right there is half of the problem, because these people who left jobs or whatever, like, I mean, like I wouldn't mind leaving my job and do something else, but like, I mean, I'm no accountant, but I'm like, I recognize an accountant deserves a lot more money than that, especially when they're doing the entire like group. And I'm like, this is insane. This is why they can't get jobs. And there are people like, but I mean, I know like Home Depot and them, and like, I just saw, it's so funny. I've been going to Weiss and Honesdale. And like, at first it was like, we're hiring, we'll start you like $11 an hour. We'll give you like a $250 sign-on bonus, like, after so many, whatever. And then like, a month or so later, I go in again, and now it's like, oh, we're hiring. It's going to be, 12 something an hour, and you get a $500 bonus. The last time I went in, which was last week, it is now they're paying 15 something an hour. If you're working overnight, they'll give you 16 something an hour. And they said that they would give you a $2,000 sign-on bonus paid out every 6 months. You get $1,000 next. I'm like, damn. So, I mean, that's the situation, because like, even if you're making $15 an hour, that's like $30,000 a year. That is not enough to live on comfortably, even in this area. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a lot of money. So people sitting there saying, oh, $15 an hour, you're giving these kids $15 an hour to work at McDonald's. It's not, there aren't often a lot of kids working at McDonald's. McDonald's, I haven't been to any in a while, but the one up in Hamlin, there's a lot of older people working there, probably because they need the money because they didn't save for retirement or whatever. So I'm like, this is sad. Like, you can't live on $30,000 a year. Yes, you can if you're like, still living at home, like, whatever. But like, if you're an adult trying to function in today's society, like, and it's not just, I'm not saying, working at McDonald's. I mean, like working anywhere, minimum, they're saying $15 an hour. That's still not a great deal. So that's, I think, part of the reason why that's really difficult for like, to fill these jobs, because they're thankless jobs. A lot of it is the service industry, the waitressing and stuff like that. And I love that the Settlers is saying that, a waitress at Ledge's, the glass wine bar, is making an average of, and I think they wrote something ridiculous, like $80,000 a year, because you can average so much in tips every, what. And I'm like, whoa. You can't
Getting a
say
little desperate there, huh?
Yeah, right. You cannot say you're going to average, $40 an hour in tips, for a 40-hour work week or whatever I'm like that. You can't, no, that's not how that industry works. Sorry. I'm like, come on. So
if that's the case, then when you factor in my travel pay, I'm doing great.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the duality, though. Like I said, still, freaking Carbondale McDonald's paying $19 an hour now. Yeah. So it's even the difference just from Hamlin to freaking Carbondale to it's just. I could just go on and on and on and on and on, But again, if you're currently working and you have been working, fuck you.
Yep.
Nobody gives a shit about you. You irrelevant scum. Just so it's so fractured and broken by design, and just such a clusterfuck. It's just such a clusterfuck. Anyway, happy shit we're talking about here.
Yeah, right. Well, I think you should spend the last few minutes actually being positive and talking about our upcoming awesome tryout.
Oh, look at that.
See? We can end on a good note.
Woo! You're getting it down, Carrie.
I am.
Yes. That's right, people. Well, actually, we're gonna have a big announcement coming in the next couple of days, which is pretty cool. But that's something different. But just where you'll be able to see us and listen to us and watch us and all that other good shit. But what? Catfish nuggets with pickles, onions, and hot sauce is fire. Wow. I know.
Thanks, Kit.
Thank you, Ace. Anyway, but where the fuck do you get that, Ace? Is that like where?
Is that Popeyes?
I don't know.
Do they do catfish?
I have no earthly clue, to be honest with you. But nevertheless, I'm going to shut up because you gave me the segue. It's a Southern thing. Yeah, I like hush puppies. Anyway, I can't.
You should not eat hush puppies.
I know. I'm going to shut up. But anyway, so yes, this November, 2-day tryout Well, demo shows. They're officially called demo shows. Okay, so it's not that's like the proper way of saying tryout, I guess. So as long as we don't suck. But yes, this November, date to be announced very soon. It's 2 days in New York City at the SiriusXM studios. Voice of the People USA Radio Network will be doing a cadre, if you will, of multiple shows, and we will be doing our demo shows with SiriusXM. That would be awesome if we had the 5th of November. I love that movie. But anyway, so that is still a thing, and it's still happening, and it's still coming. So yes, this November, and as I said, we are going to fucking ask for everybody's help to help share the new links and the new platforms, the new this and that. That's all about to be friggin' unveiled to the world, but we require everybody's assistance. So this is coming regardless, and as long as we don't really fuck it up or do something stupid, when we're doing said demo shows, then we have a hell of an opportunity come beginning of next year. And it's pretty freaking sweet. So yes, exciting times. And it's, talk about a way to up the game, huh? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's taking the VOP model. And no, we're going to have Gorgeous and Ace on one of the demo shows together. And we're going to have you two sitting across from each other. And I want Ace to wear 6 masks and present Gorgeous with a mask. But no, seriously, it's pretty freaking cool. And I'm really happy about what's to come with that. So more info is coming. But again, you're going to see something happening here in the next couple of days. And it's going to be pretty sweet. We are going to expand our reach about 100-fold. And definitely our international reach as well. So it's pretty freaking cool. That's part 1 of what's coming. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to say it, but it's signed, sealed, delivered. And Voice of the People USA Radio Network LLC officially got its tax ID number. Thank you, federal government. Took me fucking long enough. But as of yesterday, yes.
COVID.
I know. We are legal tender and have the ability to get fucked federally. Thank you. Woo! So not only can you find us in our business listing on Google, yes, we are officially entity number, tax ID number, and everything. And yes, I'll get you your press passes.
Ace, Carrie. I made them up. You just give me a photo and I'll send them to you, babe. I got you.
Thank you, because that is Carrie's department, and I'm going to blame her for my. I didn't tell her, but
I'm like, blame me. I did it. What are you talking about? Okay,
that's right. That's Carrie's world, so she will get them to you. So yes, but we are fucking legitimate. So it's a whole bunch of big news at once. So I signed a fucking big ass contract, a big ass thing, right? So you're going to see that happening soon, and then we officially got our fucking all our legitimate numbers. So there's that. And then the SiriusXM thing. So that's what's to come in the world of the VOP. So pretty cool. So craps can continue to crap on us and do the weird shit that it does, but it doesn't matter. Fuck you. You're just a catalyst. So nice. Bigger things are forthcoming, and it's pretty freaking cool. So yeah, it's going to be, I don't know all the specific details yet. From what I'm being led to believe, and obviously I'll have more in writing very soon, but from what I'm being led to believe, the demo shows will actually be live, which is kind of cool. I don't know if that's both days or after one day. We do a couple shows in 2-hour blocks. And the next day we take, I don't know exactly all the details, but believe me, we're going to be asking a lot of people to help with that. So we have a really awesome chance ahead of us to up our game to a whole nother freaking level. And that's pretty cool considering we are as grassroots as it gets. So it took us this fucking long to get a tax ID number, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. But
yeah, but now we're legit.
I know. Now we got to start applying for all those fucking small business loans and shit.
Yeah, right?
All that federal help. Yeah, is it too late?
Go. No, you should do it now. There's more stimulus coming. Hey, you still need that help.
That's right. Send us some money. Come on, man. You got to get the money for the thing.
But you should put Ace in as the as like the business starter, because she checks the box of female and Black. So there you go.
Perfect. That's right.
Yep.
See? Uh-oh. Now, Ace,
Super
I
hard.
didn't say that. Carrie said that. So, but
hey, baby girl. Thank you.
So, but no, we got a lot of cool shit ahead. So you're going to see some more consistent shows, by the way. Ace, you got to make it longer. Yeah.
Actually, minority.
No.
LGBTQ. I forgot that one. Damn. Yes. You've got them all checked. Yep. There we go.
Well, true. True. I mean, you're black, you're white, LGBTQ.
Born in Japan, you're a Japanese citizen. There you go. We've got them all here.
We got to keep checking some boxes, though. All right. Yep. We're working on it. I promise you.
Oh, there we go. There's another one. Yep.
Oh, now she's no. But Ace works, so she's losing her relevancy. You see?
Oh shit!
I'm
she has
sorry.
A job, yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the problem.
Yep. She already has a job and she's college educated. Oh, that just cut things down.
That's showing way too much perseverance. You got to stop that shit. All right, that's not good. That's not good. But it doesn't matter. But anyway, sorry, I'm talking to the chat room here. Apologies, everybody else. So yes, so even though this has been the longest fucking explanation of it all, you get the fucking point. Cool shit coming, more consistent shows too. Sorry, everybody, you know it happens.
More consistent, except for the next 2 weeks we're off because I'm on vacation. I apologize.
In reality, Carrie just said, "I don't fucking care about any of you assholes, and I'm just out for 2 weeks, so don't bother me."
I just said I don't care about Dan, but hey, he's
same difference.
Yeah.
I am VOP. Excuse me, but I have no ego.
That's your shining star.
I'm gonna take over VOP Ladies Night alone in a gender bending art of tour de force.
I am gonna play
multiple characters.
Yes. Double dog dare you.
Yes. I'm gonna do it all myself.
It'll be the highest rated show.
I'm gonna identify as multiple fucking personalities, and I'm just gonna go out there and have a whole conversation with myself. So if you'll pay to see it, we'll start a thing and start raising money for that. We'll make that a Patreon exclusive.
But it has to have a camera and you have to wear a wig.
I don't know about all that. You're not on camera, so fuck you.
All right,
anyway,
fine.
It doesn't work. See, thank you. So, but yeah. So in the grand scheme of things, I just want to round out everything and say, fuck you, Rockfin. Because I haven't forgotten about Rockfin. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. And by the way, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I literally went on Rockfin and did my research on Rockfin because the lovely Jackie told us about it. So we looked at it, and Rockfin had a whole bunch of people talking about like QAnon and Blueanon and fucking flat Earth and everything else and conspiracy theories. Like, oh, all right, cool. So we applied, and the dude got back to me at like 4 something in the morning and said that our content isn't what Rockfin is looking for. We are literally exactly like, well, not exactly, but the diversity of our shit, we would have been an added benefit. So again, because I can't let things go, fuck you, Rockfin. I never heard of you before. And I'm going to go back to you're irrelevant. So remember that, people. I know I have a problem with letting shit go, but not good enough for Rock. Right? It's such a fucking shortcoming. I have many, but god damn it, I can't stop. And again, the irony. Not good enough for Rockfin, but good enough for SiriusXM. Thank you.
Yeah.
So fuck you. But everybody else, exciting times ahead. So
I'm looking forward to it. Woo.
It's gonna be interesting. I'm sure by then the fucking United Airlines variant or fucking American Airlines variant or the fucking the Delta variant will have its own lockdown.
The JetBlue variant.
The JetBlue, yeah, Southwest Airlines, Northwest Airlines making a comeback.
Alaska Airlines.
Yes, fucking Spirit
it'll
Airlines.
Be the Carnival Cruise Line variation. There you go.
I'm good with that. I'm good. The Disney Cruise Line variant. No, too many pedophiles there. Fucking allegedly. So yes, but as long as
New York might be shut down again, De Blasio is still mayor, so there you go.
That's true. And some places are already trying to reinstitute fucking bullshit because of said Delta thingy. So as long as we have none of them blocking us this time, November's a done deal. So there you go.
Awesome.
So, and for all the people that listen to the VOP shit, well, it's a reward for all of you, but especially those who shit on the VOP stuff. So it's a special fuck you to them.
Yep, absolutely. You thought we were going nowhere. Guess what?
Right? Yeah.
Too bad you didn't hang on.
That's right. We're not the most consistent. But hey, at least you have 24/7 content, right?
Yep.
But we do what we do and we do it the best we can because all of us have lives, jobs, medical shit, fucking everything else going on. So we do the best we can with what we have, and god damn it, it's ours. So there you go. And I'm proud of that shit.
Woo!
There. Okay. Thank you.
Feel patriotic.
Me too. I should I hum the national anthem for you?
I don't know.
Or do you want to protest?
That really high note? Can you really hit the high note?
No.
Yeah, so you probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Don't do that. You'll protest it anyway, you heathen.
You know that.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm fucking lost. You gave me such a wonderful segue before, and it took me literally fucking 12 minutes to get it all out. Isn't that fucked up?
No, I know you. I was expecting it.
Thanks. I appreciate that. That's really fucking bad. And then you're going to fucking be gone for 2 more weeks? Jesus Christ. I'm going to be an absolute clusterfuck when we do our show again. You know? It's okay.
Well, then when then the third week you'll probably be like, oh, I have to go here or there for my job, and
I can tell you right now.
I can run it as long as you don't have to go out on HAP. So there you go. Yeah,
you probably actually. You shouldn't say that because I'm not even joking. You'll probably be fucking running those shows, but that's okay.
Gotcha.
That's okay because things have been crazy. So there you go. Okay,
Understood.
I'm done. And for anybody who's wondering, the plan is still to do the Thursday night Politishock show tomorrow. Why am I talking like a fucking idiot?
I didn't think you were, but
I know I knew that I was. I caught myself. We will have the show tomorrow. Yes. The goal is to do the show tomorrow. There you go. And so it won't be another month, Ace. It'll just be stop it, Ace.
Wow.
Wait, we can't knock her because she has an active sponsor.
Yep, exactly.
Yes, to our active sponsors on Craps. Thank you. We love you. And yes, I missed you. Damn it. So anyway, okay. Final words, thoughts, opinions, whatever. Carrie?
Just that I guess the best thing to say as far as wrapping it up goes is that and this happened earlier in the show in the chat room. I just want to make it very clear that you need to be your own educator. You have to educate yourself. You have to read things, and you shouldn't shut down on something because you think it is right wing or left wing. I think you need to, that's why I say, I was listening to CNN or I was listening to Fox News or I was reading the New York Times or I was reading the Post or whatever, because you get to see different viewpoints. Because even though it's the news, I know we all know that there's a lot of, bias in there. But I don't think that anyone should, discount any particular source just because of, this is right wing or left wing drivel or whatever. I really do think that that's the best way to find out like what is bullshit and what's not. So that's just my point.
Agreed. And are you doing your show this Sunday?
No, we announced on Sunday that we're not, because Sunday is the 4th of July, and hello, nobody's gonna be listening to a show on the 4th of July, fireworks and all that stuff. So
if you're looking at the screen right now, everybody raise a glass of Guinness and toast. We drink and we know things.
Hey,
Carrie and Kevin.
Oh, look at that.
And have a moment of silence for them this weekend because you will not hear them. So I don't know.
Hey,
why
we're pretty consistent though. We're pretty consistent.
You are.
So is the ladies' night is pretty consistent too, except when I can't be. So there you go.
You really are. You're good. You're better than me. I can't control that sometimes, but anyway. Yeah. All right. So for those listening on the server side, I'm sure you'll get something entertaining for a few minutes. And to everybody on the crap side, well, we love you all. We just don't like craps. Yep. And that's about it. So thank you. I hope we entertained you.
Yeah.
With the clusterfuck that was. Hey, but yet again, we literally cover like 35 topics. So, not for nothing. It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying. So I believe Elias is going live sometime soon. I could be completely wrong, and I could be talking out of my ass right now. But I believe him and his bro are going to do the sports show. So I could be wrong. I could be right. It'll be a surprise. But tomorrow night,
I may be crazy. Sorry.
Sing it.
No, God, no. Nobody needs to hear me sing.
It's okay.
I'll play the piano for you. I ain't singing.
That's on the after show. That's at the VOPUSARadio.com side. But yes. So to everybody else, thank you. We will be here at least tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Oh, yeah, tomorrow at 8 a.m. The Pinoy voice will be live at 8 a.m. our time, 8 p.m. Philippine time. So we do have them doing their thing, and they're also going to do their thing on Friday night at 9 p.m. our time, which is Saturday morning their time. So There you go. So yes, the Philippine show. So that's for people who like entertainment and to be uplifted. That's where you go. But if you want to
not
be angry,
here where you get dragged down into the muck.
I don't mean that. I mean they sing and they laugh. You know.
Aw, unlike us.
Aw,
Gotcha.
what the fuck is that? Aw.
Well, no, what am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know. Aw. Sorry. Thank you. So to everybody else, though, we will see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, allegedly, for Politics Shock. So we shall see. So I love you, Ace. Love you, everybody in the chat room. And I'm going to play our VOP outro. You know, remove the words that don't apply. And if you're listening on VOPUSARadio.com, enjoy the next couple minutes because I'm sure it'll be entertaining. And then we're actually going to end it for real because it went over and I'll never shut the fuck up. Love you, Carrie.
Love you too.
You've been listening to another show of Podcast Excellence on the Voice of the People USA Radio Network, where free speech thrives and political correctness dies. To contact us, hit the website at www.vopusaradio.com. On Twitter and Twitch at VOP USA Radio. On YouTube at Voice of the People USA Radio. On DLive, Periscope, Facebook, Voice of the People USA Radio fan and group page. And of course, find the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podcast One, Google, Apple, Stitcher, Pandora, and basically anywhere else podcasts can be found. Remember, new live shows can be found every day and night of the week exclusively at www.vopusaradio.com. This is where censorship comes to die, and all voices and opinions are